When I was 15 years old, I made one of the worst decisions I could have ever made in my life. It was about a week after my 15th birthday, and I stole a car from someone.
It really seems like when you go to prison that your life is over, that there's not going to be anything better on the other side.
I stole a car, and the next day it landed me in front of a judge with my mom, my sister, my niece, aunts, uncles, cousins, a basketball team. They all stood in the box behind me as they listened to the judge sentence me for stealing that car at 15 years old to 23 years to life.
Just imagine making it through that and finally coming home and wanting to restart, only to be encountering more obstacles, more dead ends, not being able to find a job, not being able to find a community of people.
I applied for so many jobs, so many doors were slammed in my face, so many people told me no.
Anyone who has, persevered through being incarcerated, they do have what it takes to also make it through starting a business.
This is the ingenuity that happens when you have years to think about opportunities and you sit inside of a prison cell.
Being challenged and being unsure of your future is natural for people who are coming home from prison.
Within a couple of years, we grew a very, very small painting company where we were just painting small kitchens and porches and porch steps to a large construction firm that had contracts like the Baltimore-Washington International Airport.
I want to say thank you and congratulations one more time to all of our applicants. Can you guys say that, please?
We host an entrepreneurship competition for formerly incarcerated people called Rise Up, Get Started, for the chance to win a small grant to test out your business idea or grow your existing business.
If you were here tonight and you competed in the competition, can you stand up for a second? There we go!
You are the reason for the change, and today we are going to make a statement that says that entrepreneurship is not only the way for so many men and women behind these cells, but it is the new future that we are commanding, and that we will ensure that so many of them that are coming back are going to have so many similar stories to mine.
Together we can start to chip away at this huge problem and really make a difference.
This is where the change begins to happen. Thank you for joining us. We're counting on you.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Leslie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good. I still get chills every time I watch Marcus speak.
I know, right?
So what's up, guys? Welcome to the Rise Up, Get Started Entrepreneurship Showcase. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy life to join us this evening. There we go. That's a good reminder for me to share. We're going to roll with it. We're going to see what happens. There are definitely going to be some technical difficulties. YouTube is going to play in the background. My cat's going to come play with my ankles, and we're just going to keep it moving forward. We'll show our seams some tonight, but that's okay, because sometimes that's what it looks like when you're figuring out new things, and we are all certainly figuring out new things right now. Hey, let's introduce ourselves. Leslie, can you tell us a little bit about the work you do here with Determination Incorporated?
Definitely. I am the Entrepreneur Success Manager. It's really my job to really stay involved, keep relationships, find out what it is that everybody's trying to work on, and make sure that we're helping them, through that process, especially because we're familiar with a lot of the resources. So I just act as part of the support system for them.
Awesome. We've had Leslie on board since before our November competition. So this is our third Rise Up, Get Started entrepreneurship competition. We did one in May of last year, the video of which you were watching when we first got started here. Did you see how close we were all sitting and there were no masks? Oh, we
forgot what that's like.
And then we did our second competition in November of 2019 during Global Entrepreneurship Week down at the Black Archives. And this is number 3. This is our third competition. We originally had this scheduled for when, Leslie?
This was supposed to happen in May.
Mm-hmm,
So we're supposed to have the competition. Was it the end of May? Really?
Around there. And then remind me what happened.
It seems like last year.
Yeah. So when COVID happened, Leslie, can you tell folks a bit about how we changed up what we were doing and what led us to this competition here today?
Really, once COVID happened, of course, no one was expecting that, and we just had to adjust. Like I'm sure a lot of businesses did, and we learned to rely on a lot of online resources and tools and meeting spaces. And honestly, it seemed to increase the interaction. It sort of made you have to check your email, it made you have to stay on top of your text messages. And because you couldn't interact with other people, you have to go ahead and be like, okay, I'm going to jump on the Zoom call. We're going to organize it. We're going to send reminder texts. So while it's an unfortunate event, it really has helped increase our base with everyone showing up.
Absolutely. Yeah. Our workshops, we used to meet at 4747 Truce, and we moved on to Zoom and did all of our workshops that way. And then we changed up our schedule a little bit, pushed it back from May to whatever the date is now. June 16th, that's right, is my grandpa's 89th birthday. Happy birthday, Grandpa. Happy birthday, bud. Love you.
Happy birthday.
And here we are. So after we moved our meetings online, we also moved the entire competition online and simplified it a little bit. Leslie, can you tell folks a bit about what our applicants did to prepare and to compete in this event?
Really, a lot of the preparation that we did would have still been the same in person. However, we had them doing a lot of talking and interacting with each other during the Zoom workshops. We changed the format of our application so that we can make sure the meat and potatoes of what they needed to do for their business, they at least were informed on that. So, that's really a lot what we did with that, just changing it up that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as a part of the application, the entrepreneurs were asked to submit, what was in there, Leslie? A simplified business plan, your why, values, your budget, your goals for the business.
And what does success look like to them?
Absolutely. Such an important concept, because we definitely know here at Determination Incorporated that starting a business is not one goal fits all, which we'll be able to hear from our entrepreneurs this evening. Hey, I want to be sure and say real quick, again, thank you all so much for joining us. Do us a favor, share this video. Look at us being fancy, Leslie. I made a banner that says the same thing I said out loud. Share this, let's get more people watching. Let's spread the mission of Determination Incorporated and let folks know all of these hopeful, inspiring stories of second chance entrepreneurs. Again, we are so glad you all decided to join us this evening as the Rise Up Get Started entrepreneurship competition. At the culmination of our evening, we are all going to learn who the winners of our Rise Up Get Started entrepreneurship business grant competition are. We had 15 applicants to the competition. You'll all get to meet most of them in just a moment when we play a video. So those entrepreneurs all pitched to a panel of judges last Thursday evening. And we recorded the elevator pitch, the very first portion of their presentation. We're going to share that tonight so that you get to meet everyone firsthand. So Leslie, what stuck out to you in our event last Thursday? How did it feel to make it to our big competition night?
It felt like the mother hen watching all of her chickens go out. It just felt really good because, we've truly seen people's determination and people really sticking in there, because we went from having classes in person to everything online. And so you really have to dedicate yourself. Some people are just now getting back off work and, they still have to figure out how to fit this in there and how do I make starting my business a priority. So it was a really gratifying moment, just listening to everybody, even the ones that were having issues. I mean, people were going through it. If they couldn't join by audio, they were on the phone. And all of them showed up. So it was great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was definitely something that I looked forward to during this crisis, during the shelter at home stuff, this opportunity to get to connect with everyone and see everyone put in the hard work despite the circumstance, or maybe even inspired by the circumstance. And again, we'll get to see those entrepreneurs in just a little bit, and we'll talk some more about what our judges were looking for in this year's competition. Leslie, I am excited to introduce you to a friend of mine. So tonight we have the opportunity of interviewing a couple second chance entrepreneurs. The first gentleman is named Aaron Smith. Aaron lives up in Chicago, Illinois. He had hoped to join us tonight, but then something came up, life happens. And so we actually recorded our interview last Saturday. But we had a great conversation, and I am so excited to share it with you tonight. So I caught wind of Aaron, it was probably a year or so ago. And Aaron hosts a podcast called Escaping the Odds, where he interviews second chance entrepreneurs about their businesses and what it's like to start a business after prison. And I also host a podcast where I do a very similar thing called Own It, Starting a Business After Prison. But I got to be honest, Aaron is a lot better at it than I am. And I'm excited for you guys to meet him tonight and learn more about his story. All right, here we go. Aaron, thank you so much for joining us this evening. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me here, man. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Can you tell us about the Escaping the Odds podcast?
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. Escaping the Odds podcast, a dope podcast. What we do here is we interview formerly incarcerated men and women, or men and women who just kind of been in the system. Maybe you haven't been incarcerated, but now you're a successful entrepreneur. Comes on pretty much every week. Can be heard on Anchor.fm, Apple, Stitcher, pretty much anywhere where a podcast can be heard. Also, we got a YouTube coming as well to give you guys a visual. But yeah, dope stories, man. Like really up and coming men and women, and some that's really got a thriving company. And so it's dope to kind of hear those stories and kind of show that people can kind of come from a different background, if you will, and have a successful life as a business owner.
Absolutely. So can you tell us more of your story, Aaron?
Yeah.
What's your background and how did you get into this work?
Well, I've always been an entrepreneur. I was selling the wrong product. Grew up on the south side of Chicago, impoverished area. Pretty much my family always valued education. So I value education, but also there was a part of me that wanted that fast buck as well. And so with the influences of the streets and things of that nature, I found myself hustling at an early age. First legitimate stuff, raking leaves and carrying groceries and stuff like that, until I started selling marijuana about 14, 15 years old. After that, escalated to selling a little bit more hard drugs, crack cocaine, and eventually heroin. Was on a major conspiracy in the Chicago area. Ended up getting 12 years on a federal drug conspiracy charge. And it was in prison where I actually came up with the idea for Escaping the Odds. And so here we are today.
That's awesome. How long have you been home, Aaron?
I've been home. I've been out the halfway house since February of 2019. So it's been about 16 months so far. Yeah.
Yeah, you've come a long way in such a short period of time. What's been your experience of starting a business fresh out of prison?
Oh wow. when I first got out, I had all these ideas. Mind you, I had the escaping the odds idea maybe back in 2015. I was reading about podcasts and things of that nature, but of course I had never utilized a podcast. I just knew that it was like a new form or wave of almost like FM radio, right? And so when I got out, just kind of putting the pieces together. First, to be honest with you all, one of the challenges like was the confidence, right? To actually step into the unknown and doing something. Here I was coming from prison and just building up my new like professional network and like who's going to help me kind of put this together. And so that was for me, that was probably one of the challenges, that's that confidence. But outside of that, I would say just like the technical things. Like a lot of people are experiencing that now because we're dealing with this pandemic, and so everything is virtual now. But for me, the podcast, everything, what I was doing was online, like whether it was for the YouTube, whether it was even navigating social media with Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. I knew I need to understand these platforms in order to kind of get the buzz out about escaping the odds. So that was one of my challenges with entrepreneurship right there, because the technology piece, I hadn't worked with technology in pretty much ever, because I was incarcerated during the time of the whole influx of social media, things of that nature.
Yeah. And my teammate, Leslie Walton, our entrepreneur success manager, she said in every workshop that we've hosted since COVID started that, hey, if this moment has taught us anything, it has taught us, if you're starting a business right now, you better bake in the virtual, the online, the internet stuff right now, because it is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
We all got reacclimated to a new way of living for sure.
Right.
Acclimated for the first time. So Aaron, let me ask you, because of the interviews you're doing with Escaping the Odds podcast, you've actually kind of created a hack for learning about starting a business, which is interviewing a bunch of successful business owners.
Right.
So I'm curious, what have you learned from those business owners during that time? What advice is sticking with you about what it takes to start a business?
The ongoing theme that I'm recognizing with all of the men and women is that they all have passion. They love what they're doing. And I know oftentimes as entrepreneurs or just people in general, we're looking for ways to make some money. So a lot of times that's our go-to or our frame of mind is to start a business. But no doubt we need to be profitable in order to have a successful business. But I think it also starts with being passionate about what you're doing, because you're going to burn out. You know what I mean? And so if you're only doing it for the money and the money is slow, and you're not really passionate about that particular service or product that you're offering, then you're going to give up, because it's not in your heart. You're just in it for the money. And mind you, of course, again, we have to be profitable in order to run a successful business. But I'm not saying don't focus on the money part of it, but I wouldn't make that to be my sole focus. And that's what I've been noticing with the entrepreneurs I've been interviewing, is that they all have passion for what they're doing. I haven't met one that was kind of lax about their business. And that has helped me out as well too. I'm passionate about escaping the odds, to take it beyond just a podcast, but doing other things that I have planned for it as well, as a whole media company. And so that takes passion to be able to have that kind of that focus, and also the thoughts of the future with your company.
Absolutely. I know I can't wait to see Escaping the Odds on Netflix.
Definitely, yeah.
There's something.
Yeah, definitely. That's definitely in the scopes.
Yeah. So speaking of passion, one of the things that we always talk about with our entrepreneurs, in fact, it's baked right into the application for this Rise Up, Get Started entrepreneurship competition, is really examining and knowing what your why is. Your intention behind starting a business, why you're getting into it, what passion is going to fuel you on the down days and the up days, as you're describing.
Right.
So I'd love to hear from you, Aaron. What's your why?
Well, that's a great question. I got a couple answers for you, a couple whys, if you will. One of the first whys is that I wanted to change the narrative of what people thought of a person that was formerly incarcerated or had some kind of a background. During my 9.5 years of federal prison, I came across so many men that were like extraordinary businessmen, whether that was from a legal front or even from like a successful front. And so I had the opportunity like to really sit down with them. And I'm like, wow, the society doesn't know that these men even exist. and I wanted to kind of share their stories and share our stories, I should say, because I've always been inquisitive anyway. And so basically what I'm doing, what you guys hear me doing on the podcast, I was doing that in prison, you know, informally though, but that's where the idea came from. So first, I would say just change the narrative. Then also, I needed to always enjoyed entrepreneurship, right? And so I always enjoyed asking questions and like digging deep into, especially the minds of businessmen and businesswomen. So for me, this was ideal to kind of be able to sit down and actually grow my network. So for me, it's also growing my network as well, and branding myself with something that's not only it was a personal issue, but I've turned it into something professional, right? So my professional life and my personal life, it blends together, and not often does people have it that way. You know what I mean? Normally it's some kind of a separation, but so it's like prison reform in a sense, using entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? Because that's my passion, and just and blending the two together. So that's pretty much my second why, is just being able to create my own brand, and where there's a synergy between my personal life and my professional life. So I was allowed to turn my pain into my passion or purpose.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes me think of a spiritual leader that I follow always says, when it comes to trauma, when it comes to pain, if you don't transform it, you will transmit it. And that's what
I
I'm
like that.
hearing you say. And you're transforming it into your business, into reaching your entrepreneurship goals.
Exactly.
And it's been such a pleasure we connected months back, and it's been awesome seeing you come so far. I'm really inspired by your story and super jealous of your background. I gotta game up over here. So, Aaron, let me close with this. This evening, at the conclusion of our Rise Up, Get Started Entrepreneurship competition, we're going to award 4 grants. Simple math tells us we had 15 applicants, which means 11 people are not going to get the grant. 11 people may have felt like they lose tonight. 11 people may feel like they heard no. And my question for you, Aaron, is what do you do next? How does someone take that no and turn it into something positive as you're describing?
Right. Well, first and foremost, the men and women who's part of the program, they're already tenacious, they're already resilient, right? So a second chance is that they have to look at this as they have a second chance at coming back, being stronger. If it was me, if I was one of the 11 that didn't win the competition, I would I will ask maybe the judges, like, what are some of the things that I can focus on that was some of my weak points, so to speak, and just really just kind of hone in on how I can improve the next time around. And I know, as I was told, just like not right now. So it gives them the opportunity to kind of come back and be better. And that's what they've been doing anyway, right? They've been in prison before, right? It's another comeback story, so they can add it to their story that they went through this competition and wasn't as successful the first time around, but they went back and kind of revamped what they were doing, and now they have a second chance to kind of come back and make it happen and win that competition next time around.
Absolutely. And what word of encouragement do you have for all of our entrepreneurs this evening, Aaron?
I would say the main thing is just be your authentic self, in what you're doing. Don't compromise for the almighty dollar, and just be passionate about what you're doing. That's one of the main things, because as I stated earlier, if you're not passionate about it, it can run for a little bit, but after a while, something is going to happen where it's going to actually test your passion for what you're doing. And oftentimes, most people quit because in the beginning they didn't really have the passion for it. In the first place, it was all about they were driven by the money. And so, passion and being your authentic self and actually what you're doing, because that's going to come through with your product and services.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for bringing your passion to everything you do. Your light shines bright. And I just so appreciate, again, you taking the time to connect with us this evening. I'll be share all the links to your podcast, to your videos, to all the great content you're putting out in the description of our event tonight. And just one more time, Aaron, thank you so much.
All right, thanks a lot, Kyle. I appreciate you having me, man, and good luck on everything you're doing. I think it's pretty great, man. And I look at you as a person that can kind of look up to in the lane that you're doing, giving opportunities to entrepreneurs to kind of get their voice out there. So I appreciate it.
That means a lot. Cheers, brother.
Yep, no doubt. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Adios.
Peace. Yep.
All right.
That was a great interview.
Yeah, it was so great to hear Aaron share. I so appreciate him taking the time to do that, and his story is so inspiring. Leslie, we heard Aaron share some of his advice for early stage entrepreneurs. I'm curious, what advice do you have for folks starting a business?
Really a couple of things that are similar to what Aaron said. Know that this is like the early stages of your business. So you're going to have to stay passionate about it. You're going to have to stay focused on what it is that you're wanting to do. And of course, you need to stay determined, because that's really going to separate those that are going to start a business and those that aren't going to start a business. So you want to really study and learn your craft, and really learn it is what's working for other successful businesses, and what is it that you can contribute, to the entrepreneur community. And, really a thing that I kind of live by myself, both personally and professionally, is really just to be grateful, stay humble, and love life. Like, don't let that business, starting that business, take away you still enjoying your life. So.
Yeah, that's beautiful advice. Leslie, it's been such a pleasure for me to work alongside you these past few months during COVID as we figured all this stuff out, but also through this entire journey. So thank you for the love that you put into this organization and also into our entrepreneurs, who I am very excited to introduce with everyone watching us tonight. Hey, real quick, before we get to the exciting part where we actually get to see a video of our entrepreneurs, share this video. Hit share it on your public page, get the word out that second chance entrepreneurs have what it takes to succeed in business, and that folks coming home from prison have opportunity, have hope, and have a community ready to help them. That's you guys. You're the community. We're all in this together, and that's a wonderful thing. Speaking of together, last Thursday evening, we got together with our judges and saw the pitches, the presentations from each of our 15 entrepreneurs. Why don't we go ahead, Leslie, and say thank you real quick to our judges. Remind me who those folks were, Leslie.
Yes, we were honored to have Morgan Perry, Jason Egley, and Damian Alexander. They have also helped us out, in the past, so they are familiar with what we're looking for with the competition. So thank you all so much for sticking with us and continuing to support us through all of this.
Absolutely. Thank you to our judges. Thank you, everyone who's been keeping up with the progress of our competition on social media and our High Five Thursday. This has been awesome to see the community come forward like this. So Leslie, with the current conditions and COVID and stuff going on, we got a little bit specific in our judging rubric this go around for what we were looking for. As I remember, we told the judges, and it was built into the scorecard, to look for entrepreneurs who were focused on their businesses, really investing the time and the resources now, and also businesses that had a chance of really not just surviving, but thriving as we head into the next normal, as we all figure out what this next stage looks like. Mm-hmm. What stuck out to you during our virtual judging session last Thursday evening?
As far as like with the judging goes and with the competitors, it was that we really reevaluated things like, is this a business that even while COVID's going on, they're still pushing through? There's still a business that is using this as a moment, to turn into a success story with their business. So, which businesses out of who was entering, could actually do that. And so it felt good that we had quite a few that, were really good in that category that could fit with that, because they're out there doing it right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're excited to share most of the entrepreneurs, their pitches with you now. I put together this little compilation I'm no more an expert at Facebook live streams than I am of putting a video together. So anything that may seem a little bit hokey or silly, blame it on me and not the entrepreneurs. These folks work hard to come and share with you tonight, and they really did a wonderful job. And we, Leslie and I, and everyone here at Determination Incorporated is so proud of how far they've come and so proud of their pitches, and are really excited that you guys get to meet these entrepreneurs this evening. So bear with me while I pull the video up, and please enjoy.
Hi, my name is Tanisha Whitelaw. The name of my business is Natural Hair 413. And I have a slogan that says nurturance and care when it comes to my hands and your hair. So I have a full-time job that I cut hair at Great Clips. And then my own business is I focus on natural hair, taking care of the hair, learning the science of the scalp and the cuticles. And I also like to build relationships with my clients, tell them about me and learn about them. And I love natural hair. I'm actually been doing a lot of color lately and learning more about that.
Stop and Chop Lawn Care is worth your time and a great opportunity for me as an entrepreneur who is fresh out of prison this year as of June 1st, 2020. First, lawns are going to grow, trees are going to drop leaves, and snow is going to fall regardless to what I might possibly have to say about it. And there are multiple lawn companies offering the very same services I intend to offer. What sets Stop and Chop apart from the others is the desire to grow into a green company, but the common sense to know that without a good credit, immaculate past history, and or a venture capitalist willing to take a chance on a three-time loser, my dreams of success are only dreams. This company starts with a low overhead. My drive, experience, and dedication to address the needs of our senior community, as well as people who suffer from disabilities and financial burdens, as well as the lack of time to maintain a beautiful and healthy lawn that they can be proud of.
My name is Mr. Shannon Michael Weiss Osborne. My shop name is Wise Choice Oil and Brakes. Basically, I do auto repair mechanics, both on automatic and manual transmission style cars, trucks, and SUVs. I do not work on diesel. However, I am self-teaching myself that as we speak.
Hi, my name is Samuel Lane. I'm the owner of Lane Contracting. We specialize in interior and exterior painting, residential and commercial. We take the paint out of painting.
My name is Teresa Connor. The name of my business is Scrapbook Nostalgia. It's a retail scrapbooking store with an emphasis on genealogy, family history, the history of Independence and Jackson County.
My name is Antonio Britton. My company's name is Artistic Tones. As far as elevator pitch, I have a company that does murals around Kansas City. My goal is to make Artistic Tones the creator of a business, as far as we're going to make Kansas City the #1 mural capital of America. Philadelphia currently has it.
I'm Elsie Coleman Hamilton. The name of my business is LSI Beauty Bar. LSI Beauty Bar, our mission statement is to empower women and men of all cultures, encouraging hard workers and elders to pamper themselves. Do you work hard, long hours? We all deserve to take time out to pamper ourselves, right? What's the new saying? Self-love is the best love. Well, that's LSI, loving self internally.
Well, my name is Sean Gasaway, and I am the owner of Jefe LLC, as you can see on my shirt. You know what I mean? Let me describe my business to you guys. My business is I provide a full outdoor service, which is property maintenance and beautification of landscaping. Here's a picture of landscaping, tree pruning. That's a little bit of tree pruning that I do. I do brush and tree removal. I do, this is the landscaping. Cutting the yards. And special projects. I also welcome special projects. Here's a before picture of my special project, and here's the after. That's what I do.
Okay. My name is Stephanie Manlimos. The name of my company is Breathtaking Wall Play, and I am selling installations of live plants as wall hanging decor. It's an alternative to traditional wall hangings. Doesn't take up as much space as potted plants, and it's a healthier living option as far as traditional wall hangings.
My name is Brent Letts. My company would be called Let's Code. It's a play on words for my last name. I'm creating this business because it's very difficult, even with the experience needed, to find a job with a felony conviction. Let's Code will provide me an avenue to do freelance work for small and startup companies, or through sites like Upwork.com, which is a site that connects companies with freelance developers to fulfill their needs. Let's Code will provide me the entrepreneurial experience with monetary needs to refocus my knowledge into helping other felons and people in lower socioeconomic status in the community.
My name is Naeem Alameen. My business is Personal Legends, Criminal Justice Reform Store. And so I'm the owner of Personal Legends Criminal Justice Reform Store. What we do is offer fashionable apparel at reasonable prices. We are actually a licensed retailer of the Swag Inc. apparel line. Swag Inc. is actually a nonprofit that advocates criminal justice reform, ending mass incarceration. It has created reentry networks with UPS and probation and parole in Kansas, Missouri. Swag Inc. also has a career mentor partnership with ACPS, Board of Education, to offer the youth entrepreneurial development, and also volunteer opportunities through UPS.
My name is Daniel Cody. The name of my business is Dan, your professional man. And just remember, if Dan can't do it, nobody can. And I'm starting this business to also help mostly with helping young people start entrepreneurial businesses, to really kind of get them like out of the streets, out of the gangs, and show them that there's a better way in life and that they can make it without a life of crime.
All right, my name is Brandon Webb. The name of my company is Freshly Made Sense. We are founded in Kansas City, Missouri. So Freshly Made Sense, it provides natural products. That's without all the harsh chemicals and the additives, everything to try to make the product stretch, basically. This product that I have is for all ages, okay? Now, we give people the alternative and incorporating natural products in their everyday life. So all products from beard oil, we have natural hand creams. We also do perfumes, colognes, aromatherapy oils, but we focus on the natural ability of everything.
Wow, that was awesome. Getting to see each of our entrepreneurs share about their business, share about their goals, and what they're doing to go out there and make it happen. I, again, want to say any technical difficulties, yeah, that was on our end. Teresa, sorry about the audio. Also, sorry to my good friend, Michael Mosley, who gave an awesome, beautiful pitch last Thursday evening. Unfortunately, I hit the record button at the wrong time. Silly me. So I wanted to be sure and give a special shout out to my friend Mike. Sorry for cutting you out of the pitches, brother. Go follow this man on Instagram. He is amazing, at MikeMo816. He's doing commissions. Hit him up if you're looking for something. This is all original artwork. He is super talented, and also getting into tattooing. So be sure and go check out at MikeMo816. Leslie, that was so great to hear our entrepreneurs. How did it feel to watch them again?
It was great. It was nice seeing the video, of that and just hearing them. And you can really hear the passion in them, and some of their energy. I need some of that bottled up real quick, but it felt really nice just, seeing everybody and hearing what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And in just a second, we'll get the chance to meet another local second chance entrepreneur, our friend Sarah Muntean. But before we do, I want to mention real quick, I've been wearing this t-shirt all night. This it's actually made by a social enterprise business in South Carolina called Turning Leaf Project. So Turning Leaf Project has a second chance program where they help people who are on probation or parole. And one of the ways they help folks is they run a t-shirt business, a t-shirt printing business where they sell their own designs and also do shirts for other companies in the area and I'm sure the nation. I'll share the link soon. Go check out Turning Leaf Project. Every t-shirt purchased looks amazing and goes to help folks get the second chance that we all deserve. So Leslie, next we're going to chat with our friend Sarah Muntean. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about Sarah as I bring her in?
Definitely. Sarah Muntean, she's with All American Construction Contractors. We had the pleasure of having her as one of our guest speakers during our entrepreneur presentation workshops that we had, and she was so motivating and inspiring, and I'm so happy that she decided to join us again. So welcome, Sarah. Thank you again for agreeing to be our speaker tonight.
Yes, thank you guys so much for asking me to be here. This is an awesome program.
Okay, great. Now say the name of your company for everyone again, just so they can hear it.
Sure, it's All American Construction Contractors.
Okay, and how long have you been in business?
7 years.
7 years. That is a long time. Their relationships don't even last that long.
Right.
So that's really good. So I've had the pleasure of hearing about your company, but can you tell everyone about All American Construction Contractors?
Sure. So All American, we do commercial construction. It's called final cleaning. We do commercial concrete polishing, and we are now starting to get into commercial floor install, tile, carpet, vinyl, and some residential stuff occasionally.
Okay. So now, just as with Aaron, and just when you were sharing when we were in the workshops, can you kind of give us a little bit more detail, like, how did you actually get started in this line of work, and maybe kind of even going back as far as like the part with prison and how it led to this, just so people can really see that process.
Sure. So let's see. I was a crazy teenager. I had all sorts of addiction issues, and I moved to Kansas City from Philadelphia in my teens. And it was just shell shock to me. And I coped with it by using drugs and alcohol, and just started hanging around people that enjoyed doing the same thing. And somehow, some way, I graduated from high school with a 1.8 GPA. And I used to be ashamed of that, but I'm not today, because like Kyle said in the video previously with Aaron, if you can take your pain and transform it, then you're doing something with it. So I'm not ashamed today to say that I graduated from high school with a 1.8 GPA. So I would say 2 to 3 months after I graduated, I was drinking from sun up to sundown. And one morning I was with some guys, and we partook in some illegal activities and got caught later in the day. And I wanted to look tough for whatever reason, and I assaulted the police officer that arrested us. And I was looking at 3 felonies the next day. So by 19, I went to prison, and it was a scary time. I was so lost. I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. While all of my classmates and friends were going to college, I was going to prison and getting out on parole. Excuse me. And I spent my 21st birthday on house arrest, and that sucked. So yeah, I had no idea what I was gonna do. I didn't have any education, no experience in any other profession whatsoever. So I started bartending and serving, and I did go back. I tried to go to college. I took a few classes, and I learned that I have like a really, really great memory. But I also learned that I have dyslexia, and it's like medically diagnosed. And that's another reason why I struggled so much in school. So when I was in college, I couldn't pass a high school math class. Another thing I used to be ashamed of, today I am not ashamed to say that. However, I was bartending, just totally lost. Going to prison and being on parole tends to mess with your self-esteem and your self-worth, and it was a really, really challenging time. My family, they're also addicts as well, and when I was 21, 22, I ended up being homeless and doing, side gigs, bartending. And a friend of mine had like a little abandoned house that he let me stay at. And I can barely remember, but I don't think there was even a stove in it. And I had a prison TV, the flat screen, see-through TV, and I hooked a DVD player up to it. And I would watch the Silver Linings Playbook and The Pursuit of Happiness like every night, just hoping that there was something better out there. And one night I saw an ad, excuse me, in the paper of someone that was in need of a construction cleaning crew. I'm not passionate about cleaning, but at that time I just made a decision that I was going to do that. I'm going to figure it out. I can do that, is what I said. And I really wish I would have, heard about you guys, or if you guys were around 7 years ago, because I would have definitely loved to have people on my team that understood me, but I really didn't. So what I did was I started researching everything to possibly learn about how to professionally clean windows, what chemicals to use, what materials to use, just research. And then when I was bartending, I would take the tip money, and I would buy little supplies, just a broom here, and somebody gave me a shop vac and rags here. And then I talked to some friends that were formerly incarcerated and told them what I was doing. And I asked, if they could help me, if I paid them with my tip monies and I got a job, would they help me? And they were like, yeah, of course. So then I started going to construction sites and just asking. I just asked if they had a company doing the final cleaning, and sometimes they would say yes, sometimes they would say no. And then when they would say yes, I would just tell them, hey, can you help me bid this? Luckily, some people were open to that. Some told me to get out of here, basically. So luckily, there are people out there that do enjoy helping others succeed, and I was taught a lot of these skills, like how to bid, how to read blueprints. And then I started researching everything there was to know about bidding. And I learned how to do that. And to make this long story short, 7 years later, I'm still in business. I'm doing 3 different scopes of work. And last year, I believe I had 50 employees working 40 hours a week downtown. And they were all either living in halfway houses, from the Welcome House, Oxford. It was mainly everybody in recovery. And I've been able to help those who want to change their lives too. So, yeah.
Look, it's still just as nice listening to your story and how you used everything, regardless if it was good or bad, to help build your company. You absorbed information. Like, that is wonderful. What really still sticks out to me is that you also said you had the yeses and you had the nos. Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't really prepare themselves for, or you're ready for that. So even as a successful company, what do you do when you get a no? Like, how do you handle that and bounce back from that?
Well, first of all, being an entrepreneur has definitely taught me 2 things, and one is humility and the other one is to not take things personally. So what I do is, when I get told no, I usually ask, can you tell me why? So I can learn from this experience. And then I really sit back, and I don't beat myself up, for one, but you have to look at it and say, what did I do? Like, what are the facts? What did I do and what can I do better? I've had to pivot so many times in my business. I've had to make changes because everybody fails at some point. Everybody makes mistakes. You have to continually change, and that's how you get better. So maybe just not aiming for perfection and just continuing to grow and learn.
Yeah, excellent advice. Thank you so much. Like I say, it's still just as great to hear you talk about your company and how you've gotten to this point. And I know you're going to be a continuous success story for Kansas City. So looking forward to hearing more. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
And congratulations to everyone, and great job doing this. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Wow. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to her story again and really soak in every detail. I think there is so much great wisdom and experience and hard-earned lessons that we can all take from and remember as we're building our businesses. Leslie, I'll invite you back in just a moment, but I want to share something with our audience tonight. Hey guys, thank you so much for sticking with us. It has been wonderful hanging out with you, and we are so glad to see so many folks joining us to hear about Determination Incorporated, and more importantly, the second chance entrepreneurs that we serve. I wanted to let you know, so tonight we've been talking a lot about, obviously, our Rise Up, Get Started entrepreneurship competition. And we have also been talking about our Be the Boss groups, our business support group for formerly incarcerated folks that generally meets in the urban core of Kansas City, but during COVID has been meeting online. We do one other activity called Back to Business. And Back to Business is our entrepreneurship training and business basics workshops that we actually take into prisons, into correctional institutions. So very regularly, we are all across the state working with folks who are headed home, who are coming back to our very neighborhoods, and helping them learn about entrepreneurship and learn about starting a business. We have the pleasure of going down to the Kansas City Reentry Center, which is a minimum security prison in the West Bottoms neighborhood of Kansas City. Many folks don't even know it exists. It's 4 blocks north of the 12th Street Bridge. Next time you're down there taking prom pictures, if that's a thing we ever do again, just look a little bit north and see that prison up there. Men we don't even think about. Many of us do, though, and that's what I want to talk about tonight and what I want to share with you. We haven't been able to host our workshops down in the prison during COVID-19 because obviously they have been greatly restricting visits. And it's going to be a while before we're able to get back. But we wanted to stay in touch with folks, and we wanted to let the gentlemen that we work with every other week down at the Kansas City Reentry Center know that we care about them and we're thinking about them and we're here to support them when they get home. And to help actualize that, we started a new crowdsourced newsletter called Generate. I'm on our website now where we have some more information about the newsletter. So Generate is a crowdsourced newsletter. Every few weeks, we put out a simple Google form asking each of you to share your wisdom about starting a business, about living a life, about figuring things out, about being an employee. In our current issue, we are exploring the topic of working together. So I'll share this link in the comments here in just a second. If you can, please take just a moment to click on this working together link and fill out that Google form. It really won't take very long, but it goes a long way to support the men and women. This newsletter is distributed across the state. We have reentry partners in prisons across Missouri to share a word of hope and encouragement with those folks. And I actually want to tie that back to what we're doing tonight. And I want to say thank you to the Second Chance entrepreneurs who submitted an application for our Rise Up, Get Started entrepreneurship competition. Guys, y'all are amazing. Y'all are what makes Determination Incorporated special, and you guys are the one doing the hard work to start businesses, to support your families, to do good in your communities, and also to give back. This evening, I want to remind you, we've talked about it a few times, this idea that a few people are going to hear no tonight. Remember, Aaron said no is just short for not yet. Don't forget that. And we keep bringing this up because we know tonight some people are going to feel a little bit sucky there for a second. And it's going to feel like a bit of a punch maybe. But we know that you have what it takes to be resilient and to stand back up and to keep going forward. I bet it won't take but a minute to catch your breath and keep putting work into your business and into reaching your goals and into listening to others. And what I want to remind you of, given our Generate newsletter and our thoughts and our wisdom and our prayers going out to our brothers and sisters who are currently incarcerated, who are more separated than ever from their families and their communities back home. Remember that while tonight you may hear a no in this competition, you'll forget about it in a week. But what will never be forgotten is the inspiration that you're putting into other people's life and the hope that you are giving to our guys back in prison who are looking forward to building their lives and being as successful as you are. You are an inspiration. You are the reason we each get up every day and do this work, and you inspire so many folks who are following in your footsteps. And what I hope everyone sees as they look at our little entrepreneurial support community, as they hear your stories and get to know you a little bit. Sorry to get emotional. It's been a long few months. Can I get an amen? What I hope everyone sees is not one person doing it, but it's all of us doing it together, side by side, hand in hand when that is appropriate, and really focusing on togetherness and on relationship and being there for one another and taking care of each other and asking questions to each other and giving shit to each other and encouraging each other and laughing with each other and doing this thing we call life together and with each other. And that's really what it takes, is having people who are on your team. And you guys are the best team that I've ever been on. And I'm so excited to watch each of you grow in the coming months. I want to bring my friend Leslie back. Leslie, I think we finally made it to the moment that we've been waiting for.
We made it, and I am blessed to be a part of this team with you. I could not have created anything better myself, you know, and I get the emotions. I mean, you know, I felt it after a few workshops before. So, you know, this really means a lot. And, you know, the judges, we really do appreciate you, Morgan Perry, Jason Egley, and Damian Alexander. Like, this really means a lot with people being just as dedicated as we are to people that are just as dedicated to what they're trying to do. So it's a great feeling.
Absolutely. And I imagine a bunch of folks are going to learn more about our little community tonight and are going to know how to get plugged in. Throw a comment in this video, shoot us a message, reach out via email. We'll share some contact information later. Please get in touch. After this competition is over, everyone's like, man, he's really stalling. Just get to the part where he announce the winners. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. After this competition wraps up, Leslie and I are going to take a moment to really go into listening mode and have a season of listening to our entrepreneurs and really hearing what have they learned about what this community to best serve them, and really helping to organically rebuild the next iteration of this programming. So there's not another Rise Up, Get Started entrepreneurship competition on the schedule now. Don't worry, it isn't going anywhere, but we want to hear from all of you. And I do want to let folks know, I promise I'm getting closer to it now, that after this competition is over, Leslie and I are going to immediately reach out to all the entrepreneurs who applied and say thank you and congratulations and what can we do next, and we'll have our post-mortem conversations there. We continue to work with everybody. We continue to support everyone. We've had multiple people who are competing now that competed in past competitions, and I know that was one of the most special things for me to see, Leslie, was how far folks have come in such a short time. And I really do think, I know I've said it time and time again these last few minutes, but it's all about doing it together. I believe the old African proverb goes something like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And that's really baked into the ethos here at Determination Incorporated.
Definitely.
All right. So much like our groups, we're running just a little bit over time, but we have more folks than ever with us now, and we're finally getting to the exciting part and fitting in all this great information. Thank you all again for joining us. It's been such a pleasure. We'll say our formal goodbyes in a second. Leslie, how's about I pull up this PowerPoint presentation and we show the world the winners, the 4 winners of our Rise Up, Get Started Entrepreneurship Competition business grants worth $1,000. Leslie, anything you want to add as I pull up the screen here?
Show me the money.
That's what's up. All right. Leslie, let's stay with our presentation here. I will go ahead and do the drum roll as we head towards our winners. Leslie, when you see that slide come up, go ahead and announce each person as we go through.
All righty.
Drum roll, please.
FA LLC, Sean Gasaway. Naeem Alamin, Personal Legends, LLC. Samuel Lane, Lane Contracting, LLC. And Freshly Made Sense, Brandon Webb. Woo-hoo! Congratulations.
Yes, that congratulations there. I made it big enough to fit the whole screen for all of the entrepreneurs who presented, who applied. Congratulations to everyone. You did a great job. Our journey just continues to get sweeter and more special from here. How about another round of applause for all of our applicants and our 4 big grand prize winners? I'm sure everybody at home is making noise, throwing the cat up in the air and pouring yourself a drink to celebrate. Cheers to everyone. Congratulations. Leslie, it's so exciting to be able to share this with you. Any words of encouragement for all of entrepreneurs as we take it home this evening?
Still look for my emails and my text messages. We're going to continue to be persistent. Nothing's changing. I'm still going to be on you and still going to be giving that support like we do. So yeah,
that's right.
Keep pushing forward.
Yep. You look forward to another batch of hens hatching.
Yes. Next time we're going to double the numbers. Let's just go ahead and put it out there just so everybody knows we're going to increase that. So yeah.
I think if our entrepreneurs can do this awesome, given the current circumstances, that we don't even know what's coming next.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, if you want to keep up with what's coming next, you can keep up with Determination Incorporated by, of course, following us right here on Facebook, liking us on Facebook, sharing us with all of your friends. Also, be sure and check us out on Instagram. We are very active there and love sharing the stories of our second chance entrepreneurs. And be sure as well to sign up for our High Five Thursday newsletter. Goes out every week. The schedule may be a little bit different over the summer, but we'll see. Anyway, each Thursday, we are excited to give a high five to a member of our community, a second chance entrepreneur who is achieving their business dreams. And lastly, be sure and share in our Generate newsletter. I shared the link. I'll do it again. Let's reach out and show some love to our brothers and sisters who are currently incarcerated. Leslie, thank you so much. This has been a super fun night. Thank you.
It has. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, folks, that's a wrap. Good night. Much love. Adios. And stay in touch. We'll talk soon.
See ya.